Hi, this is Chef Janie Pendleton, and today I'm going to teach you how to make your own doggy treats. It's going to be pumpkin dog bones, little pumpkin dog bones that are going to be really good and healthy for your dog. And you and your children are going to love making these for your favorite pet. So I just got this cute doggy bone cookie cutter here. Isn't that cute? And what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting 2 cups of flour into our mixer. Now this can be 1 cup whole wheat and 1 cup regular all-purpose. This can be 2 cups of all wheat or just 2 cups of all-purpose. It doesn't matter. Mix it however you want. Just put in 2 cups of flour, okay? Now here we're just going to add a 1/2 cup of the sweet rice flour. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of my sweet potato flour. And here I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons, I can't get a hold of it there. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of potato flour. Again, that's 2 tablespoons of potato flour. And that's just potatoes like Yukon Golds that still have the peel still on them. They're unpeeled potatoes that have been dried and then ground. And I like this so well, I'm going to go for another tablespoon because I know my doggy likes those. Okay? So again, we have a 1/2 cup of your sweet rice flour, we have a 1/2 cup of sweet potato flour, and we have 2 to 3 tablespoons of potato flour. About a cup of oats here. We're just going to add in, we'll just add it all in. We want a nice thick dough, and there you go. And the oats are good for your puppy. Again, we're going to give the dry mixture a mix there. Okay. Now, to that, we're also going to add some cinnamon. Now, you don't add too much cinnamon, but your dogs do like cinnamon, and just like a human, it is good for them. Now, you can add cinnamon oil or powdered cinnamon, but here I'm adding powdered. And we're going to add a teaspoon of that. You can just kind of guess at it here. There we go. Give it some nice flavor. Kind of powdered garlic or onion, it's not good for them. It can cause problems, but if you want to feed your dog just a kind of powdered garlic or onion, it's not good for them. It can cause problems, but if you want to feed your dog just a small amount of garlic, it can help with fleas. And you can use the whole real garlic that you've dried on your own dehydrator or in the oven, and then chop it finely and put that in there, and that's fine. Just watch the amount. Just a little bit for a dog goes a long way, and it does help repel fleas, so that's a good thing. Okay, doesn't reflect fleas, it repels fleas. So, okay, now to this we're going to add just a pinch of salt. Shaking a little bit of salt there. There you go. Salt's done. Run that back in, and we're done with the dry ingredients. That's it. Okay, now you want to get this pure solid pack pumpkin mix without the spices in it. It's just a plain solid pack pumpkin. This is an excellent source of vitamin A and fiber for your dog. This is good stuff right here. You want 2 large eggs. These are the extra large eggs. You can use just yolks if you want. If you're going to use just yolks, I would go for 3 or 4 yolks. But we do need the liquid from the eggs because we're not adding any other liquid. So I stick with the 2 whole large eggs to make it work. We want a scant, which means a little less than a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And this is the honey roasted peanut butter. My dog loves that. And then also right here is 1 1/4 to about 1 1/3 cups of the solid pack pumpkin, okay? Now we're just going to take and we're going to start adding our ingredients into our pan here. Oops, there we go. Okay, we've just added our pumpkin, and now we're going to add our peanut butter. Okay, we're just going to turn this on. Get some on the machine here. Okay, and you can see this is making its own little dough up here. You might have to lock your machine down. Mix this really well. See how it becomes a nice ball and it starts to clean the sides? Okay, well that's perfect right there. Okay, now at this stage, if you would like, you can add some fish oil. And that's just you can get it in the liquid form at the pharmacy, over the counter, or you can even get the little pills, and like little long brown pills, and you can just score them and squeeze the juices in. But I'd put 3 or 4 fish oil tablets in here. And I forgot to pick some up at the store, so I didn't have any. But if there's another type of vitamin that your dog likes to take, or you like to have for your dog, fish oil is good for their coat, their shiny coat. But there's other vitamins you can also add to this. Now, this is the consistency that you're going to want. See how it just kind of is kind of tacky and sticky there? Okay? And you can kind of make an indentation with that, but yet it doesn't stick to your fingers. Okay? That is perfect. Okay? Now, I just made this recipe up one day, and because I have gluten-free flours, because I'm gluten-free, and so I had some whole grain rices and sweet potatoes and potato flours and things for my gluten-free flour. So most people, I mean, if you're celiac or you're on a special diet, you probably have these ingredients. If not, you can get them at berryfarms.com. Okay, they're not that expensive, and I just keep my flours in these type of containers here. You know, I double Ziploc bag some of them, put them in plastic containers, and I just store them in the freezer, in our garage freezer. And I've had these for, probably about 9 months now, and they don't go rancid on you as long as they're in the freezer. So go ahead, be sure and freeze your gluten-free flours. I even freeze my regular flour if I'm not going to use it up, since I don't hardly ever use flour. But in these treats I do, and again, you can add the whole wheat flour if you like. Alright, now these are done. You can add a little vanilla to this if you'd like. I don't find that necessary. But I am going to add a little bit of molasses because my dog loves that. Okay, here we have a little bit of molasses. It's not much. I'm just going to blend that in just a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't take much. The dogs go crazy. I'm going to add a little bit more. It's about a half a teaspoon. That's plenty. Clean that off in there real good. Don't want to waste that. That's good stuff right there. My dad loved molasses. Okay. Blend that back in. Let that knead for a minute. And we're done. And again, it kept its consistency. Oh my God, this smells so good. Trust me. I can bake this in the oven and I can eat one of these cookies without a problem. It is absolutely smells so heavenly in here right now. Your dog's going to love these. Okay, and that's it. We're ready to roll these out. So now we have our pastry cloth. And what we're going to do is just take some of that flour, whole wheat flour, regular flour, any kind of flour, rice flour, it doesn't matter. Just going to take, and we're going to put a little in here. We're going to put a little bit in here on our doggy bone here, a little bit there. Just roll your thing in it like that a little bit. Get some on here. Okay, loosen that up a little bit. We're going to take our dough and we're going to divide it in half. Just like that. And see the consistency of that? Isn't that perfect? We're going to take it like this. We're going to kind of roll it out like that. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of give it a flip here. Have to keep putting in some flour. It's fine. A nice roll. Keep the flour, especially on these edges right here. And what you can do is you can just take and go like that. And just give your corner of your thing a flip. And then do it like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to roll these, as thick as you need. If you got a bigger dog, roll them a little thicker, like it is here. If you've got a smaller dog, then roll it, probably about 1/8 of an inch thick. She's not that big yet. Lexi's just a Siberian Husky, or not just a Siberian Husky, she is a Siberian Husky, and she's getting big really quickly. Okay? So I'm going to get some of this extra powder off of here, because I dumped quite a bit on there when I was showing you. There we go, it's perfect. And then we're going to take our cookie cutter right here. And we're just going to start making our little doggy bones. Okay? My cookie cutter's bitten just a little bit, so I'm gonna make a little adjustment here. There we go. Now it's right. This smells so good. You might want to eat one of these yourself. Your dog is gonna be the luckiest dog on the planet, and he's going to know it when he eats one of these. And by the way, these make really good training treats as well. All you have to do is make smaller ones. Just take the edge of your cookie cutter where it's shaped like the end of the bone there, and just cut a few off the end, like that right there. And then here, just kind of shape them like that. See? Knock off the extra flour, and then you've got some awesome training treats for the training treat jar, okay? And these are great because you're not giving them the whole cookie. I mean, you can even break it in half, but when you're training them and you're potty training them and they do something good, give them a little treat. Let them know that they've done a good thing. Feed it to them, and they'll want one of these. So this is something that they're willing to train for, trust me. They'll do anything for a treat, you know, until they learn. So I'm going to cut some of these into just some small training treats. These are also nice if they beg for food at the table and you don't want them to. You tell them to go lay down while you're having your dinner, or you don't want to tie them out in the yard while you're having your dinner because maybe it's pouring raining. Then offer them a doggy treat if they go sit down. And then they get rewarded, and trust me, they like to be rewarded. Dogs are your friends. They really, really are. The good ones are. I've seen some owners train their dogs to be mean, and I think that's cruel myself. But if you live in an area where that's important, then I suppose it's important, but okay. So you get the gist of it. Make a few training treats and then fill your jar up thing. And when we get done, I'm gonna finish cutting these out, and when I get done, I'm gonna show you how to bake these. Now right now I'm gonna run over the stove and I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And I'm gonna bake these for about 10 to 15 minutes each. You'll know when they're nice and toasty brown. And then I'm going to shut the oven off at about 10 or 15 minutes into cooking, and I'm going to let these sit in the oven for about 3 to 4 hours. Okay? And these will be perfectly done. Okay, now we've made a tray full of the doggy treats, which I just made out of some of the leftovers there while I was cutting them out. And we've made 2 large trays of the doggy bones, and you'll see that I kind of set them like this. Offset them. You actually can get 4 more on the tray if you do that. See? Other than doing them like this, see, you don't get as many on the tray. See that? And there you go. Now what you want to do next is you want to take a fork, and we're just going to pinprick the center, just like that. You can put a little flour on the fork, that might help. Let's do that. There we go. There we go. That'll just help cook them through. Give it a nice little design. Sometimes we don't do things all that great when we're one-handed, but there you go. Okay. And we're just going to continue to do this on all of these, and then on the smaller ones here, I can just put a single little dot in there. Okay. And we're going to stick these in a 350 degree oven for 10 minutes, and then we're going to shut the oven off, and we're going to let them sit in the warmed oven for about 3 to 4 hours. They should be nice and hard when you hit them. They should be hard on the cookie sheet. Now I did spray these cookie sheets with just a hint of cooking spray, and then I kind of took my hand and wiped it right back off again. And that will keep them from sticking, yet it won't keep them from getting hard and crispy either. Okay, when 2 or 3 hours is up, you want to turn the oven back on to 350 degrees. If you have a convection oven, you can leave these in. If not, then you want to gradually bring the oven in or pull them out for a minute. And then you want to bake them for an additional 10 to 12 minutes. And then you want to turn the oven back off again and check them again. You know, they should start be getting hard. They're still a little soft. So now what we're going to do now, the little bottom ones are done. What we're going to do now is we're just going to close the lid on the oven again, and we're going to let them sit in there for another hour, an hour or two. And when the temperature of the oven's down to around 100 degrees, in about an hour or two, they'll be ready to pull out. They'll be done. Okay, now after I've turned on the oven to 350, baked them another 8 to 10 minutes, I shut the oven right back off, and I opened the oven door and cracked it, probably about an inch or two, and left them in there for another hour. And that ended up totaling being 4.5 to 5 hours total, just kind of sitting around in the oven. And as you can see now, I've just let them cool for about an hour here on the cookie sheets, and they're nice and layered and crispy. And they're nice because, and look at that, isn't that beautiful? Your dog's going to absolutely love these. Fun to make, and save a lot of money on treats. And what I do is I just take like a glass jar. I got this one at Big Lots for like, well, I think the price is on the bottom. Maybe not. But I think I only paid like $7 for this jar. And it just has a nice sealable lid on it here that keeps the water and the moisture out. And I'll just kind of fill it up. I labeled it pumpkin doggy treats, and I'll just fill it up with the doggy treats. And actually what I like to do is I actually like to line the bottom of my glass jar, just the bottom, with a little bit of freezer paper. And that keeps and kind of absorbs any grease that might be on any of them. On this one, that's 42 dog bones plus dozens of doggy training treats, okay? But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed on how to make your doggy treats and how much fun it can be to do this with your family. It does take a little bit of time, but as you can see, there's enough here to last a couple of weeks. And your dog's absolutely going to love these. And you can make other kinds, just the flavors. If you want to make beef, use beef bouillon cubes. And like I said, you're not really supposed to use garlic. Some people do. Some people don't like putting garlic in the dog food. But instead of using garlic powder, just crush and dehydrate your own garlic and in the oven, and then crush it, and just put just a little bit in there and add a little bit of the garlic flavor, because dogs really shouldn't have very much garlic. It can really tear them up. I think it does something to the abdomen or something. I don't know. Leave a message below and tell me what it does. I don't have my computer with me, so I can't look it up. But I just know that I know the vet said you're not supposed to for some reason. So I'm going to stick with what the vet says. But I'm sure somebody probably out there that is a vet can probably tell us what that is. And I don't think dogs can have onion either. I'm not sure about that. But I do know that they can have other things. Like instead of the pumpkin, you could put in the baked squash, the crushed squash, or like the pumpkin type size, those little acorn squashes or something like that. And I'm pretty sure they can have sweet potatoes as well. Look, anything you ever put in your dog food or baby food, always look that up. But I'm pretty sure they can have those as well. But they really love the pumpkin treats, and a little bit of cinnamon. Like I said, cinnamon's just good for the digestive system. And like I said, the garlic might help with fleas, but you might want to check with your veterinarian first to find out what kind, and make sure that you have all the information. Research the web. Make sure you have all your information before you make anything for your animals. Make sure that it works for your pet. Okay, so this is Chef Janie Pendleton, and I hope you've enjoyed making my doggy treats with me and with your family. I hope this recipe just sticks with your pet, and I hope they enjoy it. I really do. Love and blessings. This is Chef Janie Pendleton. Enjoy.